Okay, what is going on, everybody? Hello and welcome. What is up? What's up? Phil here on the stream. Welcome. Good evening or good afternoon. For me, it's afternoon. And welcome to my one gameplay stream for today. Yes, that is correct. I'm only going to do one gameplay stream today. I've made the executive decision. I consulted the board of directors. We had many hours of deliberation. And we want to make sure that we do the best thing for the shareholders, obviously. So what we've decided... what am I talking about? What I've decided is that today I will do one gameplay stream. And here's why. Here's dual reasons, okay? Number one, because I need to rest up my voice. As you guys know, my voice has been very hoarse recently. Swelling up my throat daily, which sucks because of my allergies and everything. And I've been kind of, trying to hold back and not do as much streaming over the weekend. I only did one stream a day. And then yesterday I did 2 streams and my voice was all hoarse again by the end of the night. And finally I said, you know what, I gotta do something. But at the same time, the second reason is because I've got a lot of personal stuff to take care of. Things that have been accumulating, let's put it that way. And now that it's the end of the month, I probably should pay all my bills. I probably should do a few lingering things that I've needed to do for the past 2 weeks and just haven't had time to do. So tonight, I'm not going to be doing a second stream, alright? I've made the decision. I will not be doing a second stream tonight at all, okay? However, tomorrow, I will be doing a main gameplay stream of Danganronpa 2. Now listen, I realize that this is kind of a risky thing because, number one, putting Danganronpa 2 as my main stream, who knows how many people are going to show up for it because it is a very niche title. It's not something that my mainstream viewership, people who come back to watch big AAA releases, may not be coming around to watch me play that. You know what I mean? So it is a risk. And number two, the Danganronpa 2 playthrough is considered kind of almost an offline playthrough. Alright? Meaning I'm not going to have any interactions with the stream chat. I'm not going to be doing shout-outs. I'm not going to have pop-up messages during this playthrough. So I know it's a big risk, being that this is my main gameplay stream tomorrow. And last time, let me give you some perspective. A week ago, I streamed Danganronpa 2. One person cheered. One single person during the entirety of the 2+ hour stream. And being that I rely on cheers and subs and tips for, my livelihood in order to keep doing this daily, it's a risk. But being that it's been a week where I was supposed to be doing Danganronpa 2 and I haven't been able to because my voice was all screwed up, I decided I would do this as a one-time thing, that I would do one elongated stream of Danganronpa 2 tomorrow. Okay? Sound good? I know there's a lot of people who have been very much looking forward to this playthrough. Alright? I mean, it's a patron's choice playthrough. Obviously, there's a group of people who want to see it. And I feel bad that I haven't been able to deliver on this playthrough because of the fact that my voice has been so screwed up. Alright? So, that's going to be tomorrow. Alright? Now, tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing more Red Dead. And then, if you remember, Thursday is the return of my Ask the King Q&A show. And that's going to be my main stream for Thursday. Okay? And then Thursday night, I'm probably going to be doing more Red Dead or possibly Danganronpa. I haven't decided yet. I guess we'll see, because what I'm worried about is if I'm talking for 2 to 3 hours for Ask the King straight, then how am I going to do a 2-hour stream of Danganronpa after that? You know what I mean? I don't want to completely lose my voice. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, alright? I got a couple shout-outs to give here. Shout out to Alex Harvey Conrad, who started the cheering today with a 15-bit cheer on stream here. I got a shout out for Timic83, who did a 16-bit cheer, and he said, let's get the cheer train rolling. And then immediately after he did that, Dooley sent out a 100-bit cheer and said, Danganronpa height. So thanks to you guys for getting the cheering going. Obviously, Dooley now being the cheerleader for today's stream so far, but we're just getting started. Okay. So there you go, folks. That is what you can expect the next few days. Today, Red Dead Redemption on stream. No second stream tonight. Tomorrow, double stream with Danganronpa 2 and Red Dead Redemption. Thursday, Ask the King, and then we'll see what happens at night. There will be a second stream. I'm just not sure what it'll be. Okay? So, we'll see how we'll play it by ear, because then we got the weekend, of course. With, you know, of course, there's the release of Crash 3 and all of that, but... Well, the Crash trilogy, I should say. But I'm in the middle of a bunch of stuff, and like I said, I have no plans to dump everything I'm doing just to jump in and start playing Crash 3. So, there you go. That's this week. It'll be a fun week. Alright. Let's see. Do I have anything really in particular to talk about today? I'm trying to think. Well, today is the 27th of June. So we're reaching the end of June, folks. And I am getting very close to solidifying the dates in July that I'm going to be away from live streaming. I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm working on it. As I've told many of you, well, I've told all of you publicly, but I don't know how many of you watch the vlogging and stuff. I will be taking some time off in the month of July from streaming, not from uploading. I'm going to keep the videos rolling, but I'm going to take some time away from streaming to have a few days to myself. Alright? I need it. I definitely need it. As you hear with my allergies and everything that have been affecting me negatively lately, I need the time away. And of course, all the stress and everything that's been going on in my personal life, as many of you are aware. You know, a chunk of days away from being here on live stream daily and having the ability to go around and do what I would like to do, rather than just be stuck inside the house all day, is going to be a big asset, okay? In particular, you know, for the past month and a half, I've pretty much been in the house constantly. Almost never really left the house, and it sucks. It's like you get stir crazy, you get cabin fever. It's kind of like what it was when I lived back in Connecticut, honestly. It is. But when I lived in Connecticut, you know, my parents lived near me, so I at least saw them like once a week. I would get out and do that, and I would actually make it kind of an active thing. I would make it an active thing to head out like once or twice a week and just like go out and do something, which I haven't really done recently. You know, I'm not really eating fast food that much anymore. If you've noticed, DSP Tries It is almost non-existent. It's because I'm really not eating fast food anymore. And because of that, I'm not going out anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I go grocery shopping once a week. I buy all the groceries I need in order to make meals. I cook every day, or, you know, make something quick every day. It's not necessarily full-on cooking. But yeah, that's kind of my lifestyle now. It's like, damn, I never even get out of the house anymore. So, this would be an opportunity for me to actually go out and do some shit and be social and, you know, get that back into my life, because the past month and a half has been a whirlwind of chaos, really. When you really get down to brass tacks of what it's been, very chaotic, and trying to get back into a routine here where I can still do the work, but I'm maintaining the house by myself and everything. It could be very, very, very chaotic, okay? Let's put it that way. Alright, so we'll see. Let's see, because I'm going to have these dates for you. I'm not 100% yet, but it's definitely going to be mid-July, okay? I think what my goal here would be, alright, my goal would be to finish up Red Dead Redemption, okay, to make decent progress in Danganronpa 2, and to definitely get good headway on Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin before I take the time off, alright? And in fact, as I've said, what I'm going to do is probably 2 or 3 days before I get started with the time off, I will be doing overtime. And what I mean by that is my streams will be extra long. Okay? It'll be ended up being like really, you know, instead of a 3 to 4 hour stream, it'll be a 5 to 6 hour stream. Instead of a 2 hour stream, it'll be a 3 hour stream. So I'll be streaming earlier, streaming longer, and streaming later, so that I can accumulate a ton of extra videos, so that when I take these days off and I'm not live streaming and I'm not, you know, doing that, I'll have videos to constantly upload to YouTube. Alright? So that way we have enough going that it's not dead time. Because that's the death of a YouTube channel, as we all know, would be if there's no videos. Especially with DSPGaming, where everyone's used to constant videos every day. If I weren't to upload videos for like a week, that would be it. And especially the summer, too. There's no new games to bring anybody back. So if I don't have constant videos flying out there, it's going to die. And I can't have that happen. You know, I can't. So, yes, ladies and gents, that's the deal. Time off coming up soon, mid-July. Hopefully I'll have had a ton of extra stuff in store for that time off. And we can go from there. Alright? And then hopefully I can come back from that time off nice and refreshed, because I do realize there's a few new games near the end of the month of July that I'm going to want to be doing. I'm going to be doing my Indies Marathon by the end of July, which will be fun. So a lot of good stuff. Oh, by the way, folks. By the way, speaking of the upcoming Indies Marathon, I have to address something because I wasn't aware of this. And I was brought to light last night. Someone emailed me. And I was like, well, if that is the case, that kind of sucks. Okay. In regards to the upcoming Indies Marathon. Alright. The patrons nominated a bunch of games. Okay, the May patrons nominated a ton of games for this marathon. But what ended up happening was most of the games were only nominated once. There were 3 games that were actually nominated twice. Everything else was only nominated once. So it was very hard to find a list. I couldn't have a list of 40 games to vote on. It would have been too chaotic. So I narrowed it down to 8 games, based on what games were nominated the most, and also a few games that I recognized that I thought would be interesting and fun for an indie stream. Alright. So I made this list of 8 games to vote on, and the patrons have begun voting. As of Sunday night, I created this list. Sadly, I didn't know this, but one of the games that I guess they nominated, first of all, isn't even an indie game, which I don't understand why it was nominated if it's not an indie game. And it's published by Atlus, so it's like the double whammy. And the game, I guess, I don't even know what the game is. I have no idea. It's called Odin's Sphere. I've never heard of it before. So not knowing what the hell the game is, but knowing that apparently it is not an indie game and it's also Atlus published, there's no way I could have this in the marathon. As I said, moving forward, I'm done. I can't play Atlus games anymore. I just can't. Sorry, but I can't get copyright strikes because Atlus of Japan has no idea what they're doing. Okay? No idea at all. And they're copyright striking people who apparently have permission to post up gameplay videos. It just doesn't make any sense. And I can't. Sorry, but after the whole Persona 5 fiasco, I just can't put up with it anymore. That's it. Persona 5 has completely eliminated the chance of any Atlus game ever being played on my streams or channels ever again. And it's Atlus's fault, because they don't know what they're doing. They're a disorganized company. And, you know, what else can they say? They've agreed with me with that statement. When I emailed them and I said, I don't understand how this could happen, that you would give me permission to post up these videos, and then I would still get stricken with a copyright strike on the back end. And Atlus USA literally in their response said, we don't understand either. Well, if you don't understand and you work for the company, that's pretty bad. So I can't put up with it anymore. I'm done. I cannot cover Atlus games ever again. It's just too much of a risk. So, there you go, folks. That's it. No Odin's Sphere. I mean, even though it's in the poll, I can't edit the poll now because the poll's already live and people already voted. But Odin's Sphere is not going to be a possibility for that Indies Marathon because I can't risk it. Alright? And I know it sucks. Listen, Persona 5 is a great game. Persona 5, as I've said all along, it was going to be in my Game of the Year awards. It's one of the best RPGs I've ever played. I really like the game. It's just a shame that the publisher doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. What a shame that the game devs did an outstanding job making one of the best RPGs of all time, but then the company that publishes the game is so fucking ass backward that they screwed it all up. You know what I mean? So how messed up is it? Just think of it this way. Anyone who does Game of the Year countdowns could get a copyright strike this year. Persona 5 is my number 3 game of the year for 2017 copyright strike from Atlus because you used Persona 5 footage in your video. What the fuck? And it could happen. It could actually happen. More than likely what I'm going to have to do is give it an honorable mention and be like, listen, if I was able to play it and wasn't getting copyright strikes and the company knew their ass from their elbow, this would be in my game of the year countdown, but it can't be, so it's honorable mention, no video footage at all. Unreal. Okay. So, that's the deal there. And by the way, I will say this, because every day I'm getting this from multiple people, and not to say that it's annoying, but it does kind of try at the patience. No, I did not hear back from Atlus, and no, I'm probably not going to. If in regards to the copyright strike I received, I filed a counter for notification last week. YouTube processed it over the weekend, okay? I'm probably not going to hear back from them, because typically what happens with these counter notifications, they sit there for the 14 business days or whatever, and you don't hear back, and then the strike gets cleared up, all right? If I have news to share with you, I'll share it with you. But there's no reason to pester me every day about it, because every single day, Phil, any news yet? Phil, any news yet? Any news yet? And I get emails about it, and I get tweets about it, and I get people in the stream chat asking me about it. And it's like, dude, if I have the information, I'll give it to you. There's no reason to ask every day. More than likely, there will be no update. It'll just sit there for over 2 business weeks, and then finally it'll just get cleared up. Quietly. Okay? So, yeah, hot sauce is too hot. He said mid-July is basically when the latest that Atlus will respond to it. Because if the counter notification was filed on Saturday, well, that means yesterday was the first business day for them to respond. And business days are only Monday through Friday, if you're not aware. So you're potentially looking at around maybe the end of the second week of July, like July 13th, 14th, something like that, for them to respond. All right. So there you go. I'll have more information when it's available. If not, then don't worry about it. You don't need to ask every day, because if I have information, I would tell you. Okay? Alright, and that's it. So now let's do some quick plugs, and then we'll get started here. Alright? Some quick plugs, and then we'll get started. And by the way, I will say this, since I did get a troll cheer earlier from a moron who was only trying to troll me, I will respond to the troll cheer in an appropriate manner. The stupid question asked by the dunce was, but Phil, if people pledge $1,250 in order to see Danganronpa 2, shouldn't that be your priority? First of all, no, people did not pledge $1,250, you fucking buffoon. You still, after 2.5 years of me using it, don't grasp the concept of how Patreon works because you are a bumfuck dumbfuck, alright? You will spin things negatively in any way you can to make me look bad, and I'm tired of it. You're a moron, all right? Publicly, I'm expressing this. You are stupid, all right? That's not how Patreon works. Patreon is people pledge money to allow me to continue to do this as a job, and I can keep putting out the daily streams and content. As a result of hitting a certain funding level, there is a celebratory reward that's in conjunction with hitting the funding level. It's not Kickstarter where you're pledging a certain amount to have something hit and a product created. You are wrong. You are a dumb fuck. Okay? Now, in regards to Danganronpa 2, I want to put out a good playthrough of it. I don't want to have a playthrough where I'm losing my voice sounding like shit, especially because you know how much dialogue is in Danganronpa 2. If I physically cannot read the dialogue, how can I do a fucking playthrough of the game right now, genius? Should I hire someone to come to my house and read the screen for me? Should I get text to fucking verbal translation of the PC and have it read it like a robot? I mean, it's childish logic to say that since people pledged to my Patreon that I should be dedicating all my efforts to doing this playthrough. You have to be a moron. You have to be stupid to think that way. It's called immature, childish logic. You think that the world is black and white and that there's absolutely no extenuating circumstances for anything. It's either one way or the other, which is not how life works. And the quicker that you learn that that's not how fucking life works, the better off you'll be. Because I really fear for these fucking generation of kids who are going to get out there into the real world and they realize the world is not black and white. And they get slammed with reality when they realize that, oh my God, I was told one thing and it didn't 100% become exactly like that to a T. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And then your whole world will be rocked and you'll be laying on a fucking psychiatrist's couch or banging off the fucking padded walls of the cell for the rest of your life because you're so immature and you don't think in your fucking head that sometimes shit happens and you gotta find ways to deal with it. Okay? So that being said, the Danganronpa 2 playthrough is going to happen. Nobody is dropping it. As I said, I want to play the game. I'm interested in it. That first session was interesting. But until I actually have a voice to do it, it doesn't make sense. Yes, let me completely stress out my voice for a day and then I can't talk for a week. That would make a lot of logical sense. But again, to these dumb fuck kids who don't have mature thinking, all they see is black and white. They see, well, here's black and white. You should have played Danganronpa because people pledged. They're that dumb. I don't know how else to say it. You are dumb if that's your line of thinking. And there's no other way around it. So, apologies, I know, to those who want to see Danganronpa. I want to play it, but I'm doing the best for what's the best for everyone, okay? Which is why tonight I'm not going to stream, and tomorrow my main stream will be Danganronpa, and I'll focus just on that for the day, okay? Alright. Now let's do a couple more shout-outs. We got another moron. Oh my god. Another moron cheer. There's this guy who's been trolling me for days about this Atlus copyright strike because he's an idiot. And he's like, I don't think Atlus is going to remove your strike. They're going to remove it one way or the other. Because if Atlus Japan doesn't remove it, Atlus USA will take care of it. They already said, we will help you to get the copyright strike removed. And I already talked to Curse about it, and Curse is well aware of the situation and knows that it's a false strike. Therefore, don't worry about it. You know? If it doesn't get cleared up, then I'll work with you, Atlus USA and Curse, and to get it all taken care of. No one's dropping anyone. Curse is not going to drop me from a partner network because Atlus Japan fucked up and is doing false copyright strikes against people. Okay? Alright, and shout out to Timic83 who did a 50-bit cheer. And he said, trolls are getting fucking owned by Phil tonight. All they know is TMZ, Keemstar, drama culture, and will never create anything. You are correct. You're absolutely correct, because these people, these kids, and I will call them kids. It's sad because some of them are not kids, right? Some of them are actually adults, but they have the mindset of small children. Little walnut-sized brains that never developed because probably they were coddled by their fucking parents. And they never actually got slapped with reality. But yeah, to them, everything is drama. Everything is TMZ Keemstar level. So, oh, people pledged to Phil's Patreon. He only played the game for the Patreon once. Drama alert. Phil is not playing the game. He has stolen money. He is a scumfuck because he is a thief. It's like, dude, you're so dumb. So completely skip over the fact of all the voice issues I've had and everything. And the fact that if I did play Danganronpa 2 constantly, I'd lose my voice. Just skip all that, because the world's black and white, right? That's what I mean. If you're that stupid, that's how you think. Why do you think so many people dislike me? Because they're stupid. Because in their minds, their little immature, underdeveloped minds, the world is black and white. So they hear one thing and they believe it without any context, without any frame of reference, and without any actual mature thought. They just hear something, and that's it. It's fact. You know? So that's what they'll hear. They'll hear, wow, did you hear that people pledged to Phil's Patreon for him to do a Danganronpa 2 playthrough and that he didn't do it? What a thief. And that's it. And then they believe it. Because they're dumb. There you go. Alright, everybody. Third Eye the Third did a 20-bit cheer. He said, take a deep breath. Think about late night sausages. I don't know what that means. I don't think I want to know what that means. And he said, now let's get on with the show. DS positive. Pfft. I haven't said DS positive in like 3-4 years, but people still use it. That's the other thing, too. You ever notice the people who are supposedly my biggest critics beat the dead horse into fucking dust? Like, they'll take the same old shit and just bring it up repeatedly. Because, you know, everyone knows things never change. Things are absolute. So if something was said once, or if one thing was, you know, happened once years ago, obviously that's the absolute forever. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever, you know what I mean? So that's how they are. Because, again, it's the black and white, immature mindset of a child. And it's sad. It's sad that there's people like that. Sadly, those kind of people are the people who cause most of the problems on planet Earth. They really are. These people who are just, this is right, this is wrong, there's no gray area. I can't ever put myself in the shoes of another person or actually see the big picture of anything. It's either yes or no, black or white, right or wrong. And those are the people who fuck the planet up. All right. So very quickly, everyone, let's just go through some quick plugs. First of all, just so you guys know, today's the 27th, so there's a little over 3 days left in the month of June, which means there's a little over 3 days left to pledge to my Patreon for June and be a part of the Sonic Gotta Go Fast summer event. If you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon, ooh, oh my God, wow, excuse me, I did not mean to do that. That came out of nowhere. Wow, that even surprised me, and that's a rare occurrence. Excuse me. I'm embarrassed at how bad that one was. Holy shit. Oh my God. All right, let's try this again. Slap my face here. Holy fuck. Okay. If you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidefilled by the end of June, you can participate in the voting process for which Sonic game you want to see as a full playthrough in early August. The choices are Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, and Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, last year I did a very similar event, and people voted overwhelmingly for Sonic 2006. It ended up being the best thing I did all summer. It was hilarious. People loved it. And I get the feeling that, no matter what game wins here, it's going to kind of be a similar situation. People love to see me go back and play these kind of classic games from their early days. In particular, out of all these games, I only really played Sonic Adventure 1. So it'll be a fun and interesting experience no matter what, okay? But if you want to be a part of that, you have to pledge $5 or more in the next 3 to 3.5 days to my Patreon, okay? Right now, it looks like we will hit the funding goal for the month, and the event will happen. However, I just want to forewarn everyone, because this happens every month, and people are like, what? A lot of people tend at the end of the month to lower their pledges, because it's a recurring pledge that happens on the first of every month. And maybe there were some people who last month were really interested in a goal, or getting a perk last month, and now this month they can't afford it, or they're not interested in it. They're going to lower their pledge, all right? And I just want everyone to be aware of this. Because then all of a sudden, last minute, all the pledges lower, and I'm like, well, I don't know if we hit the goal because, $200 of funding fell through last minute, and now I don't know, what's going to happen. That's exactly what happened last month, and in fact, last month, I'm not exaggerating, we made the monthly goal for May by $12. So we were right on the edge. So don't take it for granted that this is going to happen, okay? If you want to see the Sonic playthrough happen, please consider pledging in the next 3.5 days. Also, there's my Teespring store. Cool merch such as t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, all kinds of fun stuff. I use the mug every single day. I love it. So, please check it out. That link has been on your screen the entire pre-stream here. And then, of course, last but not least, folks, for those of you who are here live, for those of you who are here and are enjoying the daily live streams, right, and you want to see them continue, well, there are 3 ways you can support me directly right here. You can cheer with bits, you can subscribe to the channel, or you can tip me, all right? If you do any of those things, I will give you a shout out on stream. However, be aware that it is at my personal discretion, all right? Because there's a few people who use these things to troll. As silly as it sounds, there are people who pay me money to troll me, and they think that I'm going to read out their messages. No, I'm not. So just be aware if you're going to leave an insulting message or a trolling message or an inflammatory message or something completely ridiculously unrelated to anything going on. Like if I'm playing Red Dead Redemption and you're cheering stuff about anime, I'm probably not going to be too interested in reading it. I'm just saying. Some people don't seem to get that. But for the most part, people get it, and it's been a really fun time since I've been doing this since March, right? Since I started doing this kind of streaming. If you cheer 50 bits or more, if you subscribe to the channel and you click on the share button, or if you tip me $2 or more, you'll actually get an on-screen pop-up notification. So you'll get a visual representation of your contribution here on screen. In fact, we just got one right now, right? Pretty cool. So, yes. Thank you to everyone who does contribute during the course of today's stream. In fact, I've got a couple shout-outs right now to give. Number one, shout-out to... Hold on. Shout out to Musas Planet, who did a 10-bit cheer and insulted one of my biggest trolls. He said, just saw a video by Almighty Tevin, such a sad life that he lives. Any plans for a Friday the 13th DLC playthrough? I was made aware that apparently there's free DLC content for Friday the 13th. I guess they did a free skin for Jason, and some outfits for the counselors, and... they did a few things, I guess. I'm not 100% on everything that they did, but it was all like free DLC. They claimed they were trying to make up for the terrible launch of the game. But I told you guys, I'm really not interested in playing the game again unless they add significant new content. Like, for example, actual new gameplay mechanics or a new map or something like that. Because I played the game, I'm tired of playing the same 3 maps. You know, even the variations of Jason aren't different. They're just different skins with maybe 1 or 2 tiny different things. It's not a big deal. So that being said, no, unless there's significant stuff added to the game, I'm really not going to be going back to Friday the 13th, okay? Shout out to Timic83, who did a 10-bit cheer, and he said, everyone vote for Sonic Adventure 2 for the Patreon event. I love that game since my childhood. Shout out to Flippin' Trees, who did a 200-bit cheer. I said, finally made it to a stream. I like the classic ones. Hope you're doing good, Phil. Here's some bits. Thank you, Flippin' Trees. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Shout out to Juby and the Hoobie. Or is it Hubei? No, it's Bay. Jubei. Maybe it's Jubei and the Hubei. Okay, maybe that's how it's done. Jubei and the Hubei. Who subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you for subscribing, Jubei. Shout out to Alcade311, who subscribed to the channel for the 3rd month in a row, earning himself the Silver Crown badge here in Stream Chat. And he says, aloha. Well, aloha to you, too. I wonder if you're Hawaiian, and that's why he said aloha. And shout out to Third Eye the Third, who did a 10-bit cheer. He says, dude, I need to know if you require changes to the Dark Souls 2 intro, or if you can use it on Twitch as of right now. I have no idea. I have not even seen it. I see you posted it, but I have not even looked at it yet. I probably won't until it's time for Dark Souls 2, quite honestly. I don't even know what it is. I know it's a video, but I haven't looked at it yet. If it has copyrighted music in it, I probably can't use it. Or at least I can't use it for a YouTube video. I could probably use it on Twitch, no problem, but I probably can't use it for a YouTube video. Okay? Alright. I think we're good here. I think we're ready to start. Okay, everyone ready? Let us begin. It is time for more Red Dead Redemption, a very fun game. Okay. Oh my god. Suck a Surprise says if someone does a 1000-bit cheer, I should triple dab. I should never dab again. I don't know why people want to see me dab. It's old. It's ancient. It's like outdated. It's an outdated thing. What's the new thing? What is the new hotness? The fucking fidget spinners, right? There you go. Someone should cheer or like tip me and say you have to use this money to go buy 20 fidget spinners and just have them spinning constantly on webcam. I'll be known as the fidget streamer. Phil the fidget streamer. I just have spinners everywhere. Oh my god. What is happening? Anyway. Alright, that's it for pre-stream. What the fuck?